I am Suruda. Come, let's learn what is direct and indirect speech. Have we heard stories in childhood? A lot of them. From mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, uncles, aunts, everyone told us stories. And, of course, from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Haven't we heard? Let's look at this scene from Ramayana. What can we see on the screen here? A beautiful scenic slide where we can see a deer, Ram and Sita and Lakshman, of course. And what are they discussing? All of us are aware of what happened here. So let's go back to that one day in the forest. Sita said to Ram, "My dear husband, the deer grazing there is so attractive. Please hunt it for me. I wish to wear a blouse made from the skin of this deer." Ram replied, "My dear Sita, please don't get attracted to that deer. There are plenty of demons roaming around in this forest in the garb of animals." Sita insisted, "No, I must have it." And Ram was helpless. He said to Lakshman, his younger brother, "Hey Lakshman, Sita wishes to have a blouse made from the deer skin. I'll go and hunt the deer down." And Ram went deep into the forest looking for the deer. Suddenly there was some noise and Ram was heard shouting, "Help me, help me, hey Lakshman, hey Sita, save me." Indeed, it was Ram who was shouting. Lakshman said to Sita, "Sita, you're like a mother to me. It's my duty to take care of you. I am sketching a line on the ground at the doorstep. I shall go and help Ram. He seems to be in trouble. But you do not cross this line. I shall be back soon." Sita replied, "Yes, brother, I shall not cross this line." And Lakshman went away. Let's see how we can report this entire scene. Now, what we just said were the dialogues that the characters from the story spoke. The characters were just saying their own dialogues, and that is called as direct speech. However, we can convert it to indirect speech. Let us see how we can report that. Sita said to Ram, "My dear husband, the deer grazing there is so attractive. You please go and hunt it for me. I wish to wear a blouse made from the skin of that deer." Now this is the entire sentence which we can translate or which we can transform to indirect speech. Let's see how. Let's just read the indirect sentence slowly. Sita told Ram that the deer which was grazing nearby was attractive and that she ordered him to hunt it. She said she wished to wear a blouse made from the skin of the deer. Now this is all indirect. The first sentence was direct speech, this is indirect speech. So what happened actually in the second sentence? The verb said became told. The helping verb is became was. The second person subject changed from you to pronoun he. The words go and hunt were transformed to ordered. The entire sentence changed from present tense to past tense. The preposition there became, the preposition became there from here. When Ram replied, "My dear Sita, please don't get attracted to that deer. There are plenty of demons." In that sentence, actually, we are now saying Ram told her that she should not get attracted as that deer, that there were plenty of demons. So now exactly what is happening is we are converting the entire sentence from present tense to past tense. Well, let's look at this sentence. Sita insisted, "No, I must have it." Now here we have added the word that. So now in indirect speech we say Sita insisted that she had to have it. As simple as that. So we just are adding a new word which is that. Let's come to the last para here which we have transformed to indirect. And Ram was helpless. he said to Lakshman, "Hey Lakshman, Sita wishes to have a blouse, etc., etc., etc. How did we transform it?" And Ram was helpless. He told Lakshman that Sita wished to have a blouse made from the deer skin and that he would go and hunt the deer. Now let us listen here that we have made actually a compound sentence. We have added that, and we have made it a big long sentence. It's a joint sentence, it's a combined sentence. So what are the usual transformations that happen when we convert direct speech to indirect speech? Let us just go through that very quickly. Firstly, the tense gets changed from present to past. Secondly, the verbs also get changed, verbs and helping verbs. Thirdly, conjunctions are added. Conjunctions are words that join sentences. They are added. Next, first and second person subjects get transformed to pronouns. Next, verbs in simple present get transformed to past participle. What is simple present? When we use sentences like I go to school every day. So she said she goes to school every day becomes she said she went to school every day. Well, the punctuations are also gone when we are reporting it in indirect sentence. Punctuations like the quotation mark, it goes. Simple sentences can at times get transformed to compound sentences. So we make joint big sentences. Thus, direct becomes indirect. Well, there's a small reminder for us all. In English, there are verbs. Verbs are action words. And many other kinds of verbs are there, but primarily the verbs are of three kinds: regular, irregular, and verbs which don't change at all. So what happens is sometimes verbs like talk becomes talked, but cry becomes cried, and ring becomes rang. So this entire list of how verbs change their form are also very important. Let's just quickly go through this. Swim, swam, swum, swimming. Eat, ate, eaten, eating. Rise, rose, risen, rising. Chase, chased, chased, chasing. Now the last one also is an ing form, which means that we have to use it in continuous tense. Well, likewise, go becomes went, and in past participle it becomes gone, and things like that. So the entire point here is we have to understand which verb becomes what in indirect tense. The next important reminder here is we have to know what is the subject. Now in any subject there are three kinds: first person, second person and third person. And subject is nothing but about what we are making a sentence. So there is a subject. This is something about which the sentence is. Then there is a verb and then there is object. But the most important thing to know here is first person singular and plural, second person singular and plural, third person singular and plural. And what are they? They are I and we are first person, you and you both are singular and plural. You, second person, he, she, it, they. So he, she, it is singular third person, they is plural. Well, let's discuss sometimes how you is hidden. For instance, when I say a sentence like shut the door, I am saying you shut the door. When a teacher in a class says to her children, shut up please, it means children, you shut up please. The you word is hidden there. We don't use it. However, when we transform this sentence from direct speech to indirect speech, the you gets transformed to pronoun, he or she or they. For instance, the teacher told her children to shut up. Let's look at this sentence. Shut the door. Ram said to Shyam, shut the door. Ram asked Shyam to shut the door. Well, before we end this, let's have some reminders. First thing is convert the tense. If the original sentence in direct speech is present in present tense, convert it to past tense. Replace the nouns with pronouns. Nouns are names, so let's replace them. Make nouns he, she, it. Replace the modals. Modals are what? Modals are will, can. They all become would, could. Replace even simple present tense with past tense. Use proper verb structure. Remember, we just did the verb structure, which means we should know which verb becomes what in past tense. We should know that. And of course, add conjunctions wherever necessary. So those conjunctions will actually join the indirect sentence. So that, which, and, things like that. Those are all conjunctions. You have to add them, remove the quotation mark and make a compound sentence. Friends, as I said, direct and indirect is actually a very important tool in reporting. We all must know how to use it. It's very simple. We have just discussed some basic rules, what to do when we convert direct to indirect. And that's how we come to the end of this part. Thank you.